Hey everyone, it's Consuelo Jones coming to you from Blight Manor. Um, just wanted to talk to you about a film we went to last night, a documentary. The name of it was Cooked, Cooked, Survival by Zip Code. It's by Judith Helfand, Helfand. And it's a documentary about in 1995 Chicago, and there was a heat disaster in Chicago in 1995 where 739 Chicago residents, mostly poor, elderly, and black, died from the heat because they had no fans, no air conditioning, they had some places didn't have windows, or if they had windows, they were nailed shut for fear of, being attacked. And the response from the city, which was just mind-boggling, mind-numbing, unexpected, but not surprised, unfortunately. So it just compares and contrasts the difference between a response to a natural disaster. And so, yeah, it's infuriating. It's a great documentary because it really gets, it got me thinking about, the response to, the difference in the response to, let's say, Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Maria, and Katrina. It's just, I don't know. It's important to talk about and recognize the racism that has existed, and continues. And not, I think, what I heard in this, there was, and not, look at, well, this, that, point fingers, say this, say that, because it's really irrelevant. 739 human beings lost their lives over a week in 1995 because it was too damn hot. And that's like a whole nother topic in itself. The heat index was 126 degrees. And so, really thinking about that, and the part of, survival by zip code, because no one outside of the downtown area, the inner cities, was affected by this. I mean, they literally could look at the map and everything was just right around, the downtown area, inner city area, and the response to, either cooling centers, things like that, the mention of that, really, it seemed like the mayor at the time, Daley, would have a press conference, but they just really wanted to distance themselves from the fact that there was actually a disaster occurring, and 739 Chicagoans lost their lives. Poor, elderly, and black. So, yeah, it pissed me off. Again, because comparing and contrast the reactions and the responses to the disasters that are occurring, because, right off the top of my head, I think about Puerto Rico. I mean, we're still talking about that, and I don't even want to, we're still talking about that. So, this was an American tragedy, and it was almost like I didn't hear about it. I think I remembered a little bit of news of something like this about Chicago and the heat wave, because I think it was hot in many places, but I just, when I saw the documentary, I was just shocked, because I thought, how can this happen? And well, I know how it can happen. So, yeah, I'm mad about it, and I just wanted to, put this down and say, it's not right. What what are the questions that we need to be asking, or for me, what I thought about is like, peeling back the layers of poverty, economic and social isolation, and racism, because they're elderly, people, elderly folks that were isolated, in capitalism and how it's fucking destroying communities, and it doesn't give a shit. It doesn't give a shit. 739 people lost their lives, and nobody was, not that no one cared. It was like the response just from the government agencies. There it is. Name the agents. It's the government agency, and the response was 0 to none. And that's what's infuriating. And I took some notes here. So the other thing I wanted to mention too is that in the documentary talks about how different towns, states, cities can apply for government grants to purchase used or like military equipment, or emergency response equipment from FEMA, from the military, and they've done this. And so in the documentary it showed some conventions, and just looking around, I mean, it was pretty much all white dudes with all their new toys that they had just their city, their town had purchased, and they get to go out to this convention and show all that shit off. It was just disgusting display. At one point, Judith asked one of the dudes about a refrigerated truck. I'll let you think about what that was for. But the refrigerated truck, she asked, so this is, I don't want to give anything away, but it was a refrigerated truck, and his response to it was, let's not look at it that way, let's flower it up a bit so we don't have to actually talk about what the real fucking problem is. And it was just a disgusting display. So I mean, that's what films, documentaries are meant to do, is to evoke emotion and feelings about things that are occurring around us all the time. And with that, I think I just want to say, I hope that y'all are getting out there, seeing what's going on, going to supporting independent films by women, and really just encourage you to keep peeling back those layers, because there's just so much to see that's happening, and it's the only way that we can be prepared for ourselves and take care of ourselves. And I'm not, please, in no way do I think the 739 elderly, poor, black citizens of Chicago had anything to do with what happened to them. Other than they just showed up every day of their life in this, patriarchy, capitalist, country that we live in, and no one gave a shit. Mayor Daley didn't. His press conferences were shit on it, His response to it was shit. So, that's it. Consuelo out.